As the war between light and darkness continues, heroes and villains become harder to identify. Kindred spirits separated at birth, fighting for their place in time to be solidified. The clock ticks faster and faster while time runs the marathon in this Babylon. But see, the end is only the beginning of the calm before the storm.
I used to dream of success, now success is inadequate. It seems the bigger I get, the more they get mad at me. Cause it ain't no rules inside this fight that we battling, and it ain't no leftover scraps. You only eat if you capture it. And I swear it's like a fucked up reality, but creation needs a devil, the devil needs an advocate, I guess. And I ain't too big on duality, but you think you know me, you ain't seen the half of me. Whenever I wake up, I get this feeling that I can't wait up, cause time is ticking, bombs away, bombs away.
We're gonna go on about some shit. I decided I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna testify. Parts of it is gonna keep confidential. I don't want to muddy up whatever happened with this girl, and then compare her to the rest. Because as much as she is just one of those humanoids born with vaginas, titties, and whatnots, I don't know shit about her because I don't know. I had no time with her, so, and I don't know. She knows. Testifying to a lot of things. Why is it me? Why is it Ace and me gonna be co-kings? We're gonna talk about girls. These fucking queens out here. I'm fucking not here to shit on girls. I hate doing this. Although I make it hilarious, so obviously some of it's fun, but then after the laughter is over, it all just goes back to... Anyway. There's two types of people out there going on. There's people that are trying to be in committed relationships, that have families, that care about each other and love each other and are loyal to each other, look out for each other, body, mind, and spirit. And then there's 80% of the girls and 20% of the guys that are out there that are just plain make-believe with each other, and then forcing their family and community to live in the make-believe world that they've now created for everyone. And it's just part of girl culture. And the fuckboys jump in, and the sex, drug, organ traffickers, they know how to play the games. So they're all a part of it, having fun playing make-believe, trying to get these girls to believe whatever they want to believe so that they can have the feeling. And that's why they say that committed guys, their boyfriends, they're boring, and the fuckboys are fun, because the fuckboys know how to play the games. Like, I don't know shit on all these girls out here, but it's like, when I talk to them, they care about playing dolls, so make-believe. Their little game is playing make-believe. Playing imagination. Try to live in my imagination. Let's play that game. Or did my friends like the pictures that I shared with them or not? And it's just girls that are destined to grow up to be bimbos, and
so my family sucks. They want me to, and me saying they suck is why they hate me. So instead of them being better so that I don't no longer think our family sucks, they just want me to shut up and pretend that our family's awesome. And I don't want to do that. I want to create a family that is awesome. So they don't want to be awesome. They just want to be assholes, self-centered, narcissist, asshole pieces of shit whenever they fucking feel like it, and have me just always be grateful for any of the good they've done and the blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't matter. I don't want anything to do with it. I want to create a community.
That was pretty. These are thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the conclusion, the closing argument. But I understand the difference between delusions and thoughts and feelings, and know how to challenge my own thoughts to stabilize them within reality. And it's a skill set I needed to learn as a survival mechanism in my household, because everyone in my household is a liar, and I try to tell the truth and live in the real world, and they all wanted to live in their own little bubble. And so I had to learn how to survive that, and I learned to survive that by learning everything I could possibly learn and never stop learning, never stop taking things apart to try to figure out everything. And I figured out lots of things. We don't teach anybody real shit. How to have things that really make you feel good forever, not just temporary things that make you feel good, like having sex and eating food, but things that make you feel good inside forever. How to teach people how to allow people to have that instead of trying to destroy that in people and say, we don't want you to have it because we've decided you don't get to have it for whatever reason we feel. It's such a terrible fucking place. Schooling system's just a fucking shit show. It's important that we have 4 years of English, but it's not important that we have four years of home economics and understanding how to balance a household budget, how to plan out food, how to cook delicious meals. No. We learn how to do math to an extent that no one will ever fucking use in their fucking life. Force all these fucking things on these fucking kids, and none of them are how can I go travel this world and go see all the cool things, and what are the cool things out there to see and do, and what can I be in this fucking world. And that's one of the reasons that I'm fucking furious at these fucking places, because there's a fucking tree growing out of this rock right here. Anyway, rambling on a tangent. There's gonna be a lot of those in this fucking one. So, because the ones that that excel at the system are the ones that can just recite what they read verbatim. They're carbon copiers. They're not thinkers. They're not doers. They're just copy machines. They're robots for the system. So I got an A because I read this book and I told the teacher exactly what it said. And I got a C because I skimmed through the book to learn enough to get out of that fucking place. And people got ease because they just fucking have no care for this world. Nobody, they got nobody that cares about them enough, and they don't care about themselves enough to apply themselves to do what it takes to excel, succeed in this world. We want to add classes and teachings of how to think critically and how to challenge yourself spiritually and create a space for people to do that, a safe space, which is really hard because especially when you're working with energy, because the emotions get thrown around, and when you're dealing with spiritual energy, it's even stronger and harder to control. And so if you don't have adults that have conviction to making sure that their minds are focused on the right things and not on sex, because sex destroys everything. And anyone that would tell you otherwise is a fucking flat out liar. They're lying to themselves and they're lying to everyone else just so they can have their fucking fun. And then they'll go back and have their panic attacks and they'll think about killing themselves because, well, they'll be living in a hell of their own mind and trying to drag everyone else back down into hell with them in their little game of make-believe. Because if they make everyone believe it around them, maybe one day it'll become true. But that's not how the real world works. It's just how it works in girl culture. It's just a part of their culture, and they all know it. And I was waiting for one of these fucking girls. One of these girls just has the courage to say, yeah, I've had enough too. Not just one, I'm actually looking for a lot of them, but I want one of them to be mine. So, anyway, it's fucking Ann Arbor hanging out with some friends, and I spotted one. She was something. And I walked over to her, and I sparked up a conversation, and then I asked her if we could get out of here. And she was like, no way, get away from me. And I didn't mean it that way. And it was funny because I tried to recover from it and I couldn't. I couldn't think anymore because she shook me after she took it that way. It was loud in the bar, and it was a shitty bar. I wanted to be somewhere I could talk to her. She's interesting. So, and I just ended up having to go and regroup and went back again, and she's gone. And I talked to her friend instead and chatted with her and told her that I had some buddies outside if they wanted to come out, because that's how it works. And I ended up leaving and hanging out with my friends, and the group of those girls came out to the patio and started to relocate. And my buddy, I was telling him that we got to go over there and hang out with those girls, and he said he's got it, and he's the one that had a girlfriend. The other guys were single, so I was talking to them, not him, but he wanted to help, and it was awesome. He just circled him. I don't know if he circled once or maybe twice and didn't say anything. And just came back, sat at the table, and I could tell they were getting uncomfortable. So I walked over there and I was just apologized for making them uncomfortable. And before I got to the table, she screamed, "I have chlamydia!" then I said, I'm just sorry. I just wanted to apologize for making you guys uncomfortable. And then I went back to the table. And they stayed there. And she was watching me. And I was trying not to watch her because we had made her uncomfortable and I didn't want to make her any more uncomfortable. But there were people that showed up, these two homeless people, and one of them was just screaming about trying to get attention on sexual assault. My buddy said that she was an angel. I said there's lots of girls like her out there. It's just dying to be seen and heard because no one takes them seriously. Maybe he's the one that needed to hear her story the most. Because he ended up having a conversation with her. I didn't want to talk to her. I've heard plenty of fucking stories. I don't need any more stories. And I just asked her if she wanted a hug. And she said yes, and I gave her a hug. And that girl had to watch me give her a hug. And wonder why I gave some stranger that everyone was ignoring a hug. And so she was watching me, but her friends weren't watching me. So all they still saw was some creep. A group of creepy guys. And we left the bar. It was time to go. And they got up and left right behind us. Like not too long after we left, they left. Because I was like not even a block away, and I saw her behind me walking. And I was with my buddy, and I was like, dude, I gotta turn around. I gotta get this girl's number. And so we walked back, and I gave her my phone, and she said, what's this? I said, I need your number. And she looks right at her friend. And there was another guy that was with her that was yelling something. I wasn't paying attention to him. My buddy asked me after how I wasn't addressing him at all, because he was like threatening to. He's very aggressive and threatening. But I told him he wasn't who I was there for. So that guy was of no consequence to me, so I wasn't paying attention to him at all. And the girl looks right at her friend. She looks right at her fucking friend. And I looked at her friend, and her friend shook her head no. And I'm like, fuck. And she fucking puts her name and digits in my phone and says, look at the name. And I didn't look right then and there, because there's so much chaos in the fucking moment. I fucking had a guy yelling at me, my buddy behind me fucking bickering with him about shit, and I'm talking with this girl while her friends fucking saying no go with me, and fucking get a few little bit away and fucking notice it, and it's her name and her last name is with the clap. And there's fucking like 13 digits or some shit. So if I would have noticed, I would have been able to address it. I could have gotten that one. It was just too. It was such an emotionally charging situation, and just all around. So many different energies to have to deal with all at the same fucking time. just to get what I want. Fucking was it Pat Benatar? Love is a battlefield. This fucking vicious out there. It's just fucking always got a fucking friend. On to the next story. I fucking that one's so funny.
Oh man, this waterfall is awesome. Fucking TLC, what the fuck do you know? Fucking waterfalls are great. You guys should go find as many as you can. But beware, because these streets are not safe. These streets are dangerous. Not These streets aren't dangerous in the way that black culture makes you think it's dangerous. As if black people are getting innocently shot on the streets. Only fucking bad people are getting shot for the most part. It's very, very rare for a decent fucking human being to find any drama that they didn't walk into themselves. And the way they walk into them is by playing make-believe and living in somebody else's little reality, going down that path.
I was substitute teaching, and I gotta tell these stories. I have to share them somehow. Eventually, the cock's gonna be the one that I can share these stories with, rather than dumping them on people that just are unworthy of it, unworthy of knowing any of the things that are in my head. Fucking go talk to a therapist. It's just a fucking black hole of somebody that's just gonna recite all of the idioms that they learned in idiot school. I got a clown degree from Siena Heights University, and you realize that they don't got the answer there. They don't know shit. They give you lots of pieces, not all of them. They keep a lot of them secret. They keep a lot of good ones secret, and that's what I'm sharing with everyone. And people do not like it. Do not like that I can talk about the energy in ways that they only teach in secret societies. And then I can explain it so efficiently, and then I can make everybody feel while I'm doing it. Because then you don't really understand something until you feel it, and once you feel it, then you process it more. So it's just epic. And it's how you get people into that. You can push people into that emotional state, that low vibration state. You can then make them feel, and then when they have feel, they gotta associate those thoughts with those feelings. So this girl. I don't want to talk about her, but I do want to talk about her because she'd be okay with it. But all the teachers that would know who I'm talking about wouldn't be, and then the other students might not be. And this girl's fucking tough, so she wouldn't fucking mind. She might get mad, but she'd get over it. It's difficult. But anyway, I'm gonna try be gentle with it.
I talk about that girl and that high school girl because we had so many interactions. She was just so great. I just loved battling her. She's just such a challenging girl, but reasonable too, and she wanted to learn more. She wanted more wisdom. She wants the knowledge. She's got it, and she can go with foster parents or sit in the schooling system with teachers that don't have the knowledge because the system doesn't teach it, and then she's gonna get scooped up by the only people that have the knowledge are the bad ones. and it'll just get her to go do more bad, and no one's going to help her be good. And one of the discussions we had is she said her grandma said she was going to get raped because she's wearing slutty clothes. And I did get in trouble because I ended that conversation with what's getting socially acceptable for girls to wear is getting sluttier and sluttier. She agreed with me completely. And that's just inappropriate language in the schooling system. Although the supervision didn't disagree with my point, nor did they fairly agree. They just said that I need to behave and watch how I speak with these young, susceptible minds. Not that these girls aren't fucking using that language behind closed doors, so I don't necessarily mind using it, and I never got any of them in trouble for using it. But one of the teachers overheard, or someone else that more than likely was not satisfied with the idea, because these women have turned a blind eye to it, or they have just become complicit with, they just showing their ass and their tits, they're wearing their spandex around, their fucking cleavage is hanging out, and it's all just to get sexual energy and to feel empowered. I said empowered woman. And so it's a zero-sum game, so that lustful empowerment comes from somebody else feeling that lustful urge, that lustful vibe towards you. And so you're dragging men down, then calling all men bad pigs for doing what's natural for a red-blooded human male to do and feel and think. And the problem is it shuts guys' minds off. Sex turning the energy when you shift it down away from your mind, and weak minds shut off completely to it. And the girls get to then use the little boy toys. But the wearing the slutty clothes is what gives guys that idea, and it's why you get down that path. So girls want that sexual attention and to feel lusted after, and to have the guy's mind shut off to the point where they just lean into all their urge for them. They want that, but then they want to be able to stop it at any given moment. And no one's teaching anybody that either, and how that works. And so they love it. Just a game to them. Anyway, back to my notes.
She and I fucking argued. And she tried to get me in trouble once. She you're warm. She oh, that's so good, buddy. It's asking. I was a substitute teacher, so I didn't have a curriculum. I was following the school's curriculum that they gave me. One of the projects there had to do was define a word, and the word had multiple meanings. And I had them define it in the one term, and she said she couldn't do it. She said she can't do it. And she couldn't articulate why she couldn't do it, other than claiming a disability of some sort. And I didn't let her get away with it. I don't remember why she said she couldn't do it. All I know is I didn't let her get away with it. Her excuse was weak. Like, she's smart. She could do it real easy, but she wanted to fight me on it for whatever reason. She decided to fight. And I'm not scared. I'm not scared to stand my ground against these girls. And so the way girls fight is they play a war of imagination. And she wanted to make me believe that she couldn't define a word, something that I'm sure like a first grader, second grader could do. And I was not going to let her get away with it. And it's just a shame because she just shoots herself in the foot, tries to get me in trouble because I challenged her and her friend to do something that they were capable of doing but chose they didn't want to do, and were going to play a game of make believe with me, try to make me believe that they couldn't fucking do it. Just to win a little game that they were playing in their own little heads, in their own little imaginary world. And that's just the world we live in, where girls are just doing this regularly. It's part of who they are as people. It's how they get what they want, is make someone believe something and then they'll do things for me. She then encouraged her friend to jump on her team, and that's when they become poison. And then her friend just didn't even know what she was talking about because she wasn't paying attention. She was on her phone, ignoring the whole situation, and just blindly agreed with her friend. I think I'm mixing two stories here. Yeah, I am mixing two stories here. The second story, the one where she just blindly, that's the crux. She blindly recruited her friend to agree with her that she can't control herself when she has emotions.
And I used the girl that I was substitute teaching when she said she couldn't control her emotions and her feelings and her actions when she has a feeling that she can't do it. And then she goes to tells her friend that to join in on her side of the argument, because now it's an argument of ideas and not about reality. Now it's like my Uncle Jim says, he knows hundreds of people that will tell me I'm wrong about my personal private life. So he's right, because he knows more people that will say I'm wrong that know nothing about my life, but he apparently knows them and they'll say I'm wrong, so therefore he's right. And that's the logic that poisonous, toxic people use. And this girl is just like a teenager. She's just in high school. She knows better, but she doesn't know better. Because she doesn't have anyone that sees it the way I see it, the way a real man would see it. So what she did is she recruited her friend to agree with her, and her friend is just going to blindly agree with her friend because that's what friends do in girl culture. Real friends make sure their friends are right, not play make believe with their friend so their friend believes they're right when they're actually wrong. And so she wants everyone around her to believe that it's acceptable and appropriate and that she's incapable of controlling herself when she's emotional. And she makes herself weak. She poisons her friend because then her friend may or may never jump into that idea too when she's in a weak moment that wants to just give in and say, I just couldn't handle it. Let's blame it on the alcohol. Let's blame it on this and blame it on that. It's not my fault for some fucking reason. And no accountability, and that's what girls do. They just absolve themselves and say I don't have to be accountable and everyone around me has to suffer all the consequences. And I won that argument of thought with her.
I have the power to crush her. I could have made her life miserable. I could have made her never have her phone out. I could have separated. I could have got seating charts. I was encouraged to put seating charts in all of my class, all of this classes, because they kept me long term. because they liked having me there, but social media gets in the way when people make judgments on things that they see. And anyway, I could have separated her from her friend, put him on other side. I could have sat her right in front of me and separated her from her friend, which I had to do sometimes when they really weren't going to do work and try at all, which is rare. But anyway, that's not what I did.
I had the authority to say she wasn't allowed to say I can't in my class in a quasi way, like I can't control speech and I can't. It's not like hate speech that you can shut down, but I can make the rule in my class that she can disobey or obey.
And she loved it. She loved it. she I don't know. She said it one time after that and corrected herself and then smiled at me. And girls need a guy like that that'll stand in front of them and say, "Hey, you're not a fucking idiot. Stop encouraging yourself and your friends to think you're fucking stupid."
Because she liked it. She knew, but she knew she could. She knew better. And so I have to be king because no one knows how to handle these girls the way these girls need to be handled. I say handled and controlled in a way that it's like I would say about the cock when I said that I wouldn't claim her as mine until I fix her, which I would not. And other guys would have to placate her and play her imagination and all her friends' imagination that, oh, she's perfect just the way she is. Oh, how dare he? Which is fucking asinine. There's things that I won't fucking suffer from a woman, and no real man would. It's just the happy wife, fucking happy life concept. That if you love someone, it's such an easy, slippery slope to do. Because even with the cock, I didn't want to break any of her magic. I just wanted to let her win, even if it meant my own destruction.
And that's at the crux of all these girls doing whatever they feel like. They've deemed that they cannot control their actions when they're feeling a sort of way. It's called an emotion, and it's just emotions. So they're justified in acting out their feelings for whatever reason they've given themselves for just existing as women. It's having a slit between their legs. They just have decided that they're incapable of controlling themselves and keeping their feelings and their actions under control. And then she encourages her friend to blindly agree with her without even thinking. And then that's how echoes start, because then they all just keep saying the same thing over and over again. It expands outward, and no one corrects the falsity. And it's big personalities that no one keeps in check. Big energy that no one keeps in check. They just let it run free. And they have no fathers, no real men that they respect in their life. And their moms are all fake. They're all fake. And if the girl's decided that she can't control her actions because she feels a sort of way, then she's just going to grow up with that mindset. And that toxic mindset doesn't go away. These girls just become better at hiding it. Administrators within the schooling system, so if the schooling system sucks, it's because of their being kings and queens over these little princes and princesses, and their rules that they're enforcing and the things that they're teaching these kids. And all of them know that they're teaching hardly anything of what it is to be a human and how to survive this world. They're only teaching you how to fit into the system that the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers set up for us. And if you call them out on it, they feel bad because they're trying their best and they're doing what they were trained to do, what they were indoctrinated to do by what the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers put into the school books and are enforcing within the system. And the only people that excel at the system are the ones that are going to create the system more and bigger and better in their own eyes. And so they repeat the same things over and over again. And the conclusion that I've come to on this scenario is the schooling system and the religious system doesn't teach spirit. They don't teach how to test spirit, how to challenge it. And then the system that we have doesn't teach you how to challenge it either. It teaches you how to vent and talk shit to a stranger. Talk shit about your family and friends to a stranger, and that's going to make your life better. Psychologist. Or go take drugs so that you don't have to feel the pain of the abuse and the torment of life. So you don't have to be strong and have strength and willpower and become a better human. Just suffocate with drugs. And one of the challenges I have with, if I had her, if I was there longer with her, if she was mine, she's just said that the reason she wasn't invested into her mind, into expanding her mind through learning, was because she decided she already knew what profession she was going to have. But I'm telling her if I had her longer, I'd make her realize that she wants more than that, because she doesn't realize she wants more than that, and that's what the crux of all of these. A lot of the problems in life is we all want more, but we don't know what that more is. And so she's in her own world of where she knows what she wants to do, so she's planning out how to learn to be that and gonna figure out and excel at that. But then she doesn't realize all the other things that she wants to do, like be a good wife and be a good mom, because she's always talking about relationships and how she struggles with them. And I watch her. If you struggle with relationships, if you can't control your emotions, because then you act on emotions with different people, and it causes trauma in your relationship, because you're no longer loyal if you can't control your emotions. So that's why most of these girls are not worthy of being in any sort of relationship with, because as soon as they go hang out with their empowered friends and the fuckboys, they're gonna go and play that game of make believe. They're gonna catch feelings, and then they're gonna fucking fuck around, and they're destroying all of their life and all their happiness, and then they're angry, and then they're miserable, and then they're suicidal, and they're having all the panic attacks, and their lives are fucking just terrible. And their lives are terrible for themselves and everyone that they've made any commitments to. And It's just need to get opportunities to strengthen ourselves emotionally, energetically, and how to harness the energy and what we can actually do if you harness the energy rather than just giving into it. So the cardinal sins, we'll dive into it at a later date, but they're when you lean into those things like gossip, when my sister goes and gossips to her friend in an angry, rageful fit, she says things that aren't real, that aren't truthful, and then instead of when she comes down from the rage, coming clean from it, she wants everyone to live in her make-believe land where she was a victim and not just an evil, aggressive psychopath. And so she needs everyone to pretend like she's a victim so that she can live in her fairy tale land. And I just won't do it. I won't play in these girls' fucking La La Lands. Like, I'll create a world with a girl and we'll create our own La La Land in reality. These girls, they all have the same story. I couldn't help it. I had the feeling, it was too strong. I had to go with the feeling. And same story with fucking serial killers and fucking the mass shootings. I had a feeling and a thought that I just couldn't let go, so I had to act upon it. I had to go and destroy everything and everyone that cares about me and I ever cared about, because my friends all gassed me up to have these thoughts and this feelings that I allowed them to give me just because I wanted to go have fun. Because that's what's fun these days, is going and getting drunk, shutting your mind off with low grade Rufalin called alcohol, so your brain turns off, and then say, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just because of the alcohol, so I get to keep using that as an excuse. There's this girl in Florida. She's just the right style. She's the right fit. So I went over and talked to her. And she's an interesting girl. And I liked talking to her. I liked hanging out there. We had a good time. We played pool. And she set her drink down because it was her turn to go. And I don't remember how that all played out, but she made sure that her drink wasn't unattended by me. And I looked at her and I said, smart. Looked at her face, because it was smart. And when it was my turn, I let her hold my drink, and I said, I'll trust you to hold my drink. And later that night, she had to go to the bathroom. She asked me to watch her drink, and her friend saw it. Her friend did not like it at all. She said nope and jumped in and guarded it. Just stood over it, guarding it, put a poster on top of it, and just sat there. And I just watched her, and I tried to spark up a conversation with her, and she shut the conversation down immediately. And then the next thing, we went upstairs, and the other guys that we were hanging out with, that only reason we were hanging out with them is because I asked them to play pool, because that girl liked one of the guys. Her friend. And so I introduced them to each other, because that's what I do. just make people's dreams come true. And when the guys took the elevator upstairs and she wouldn't get in the elevator, and I asked her why, and she said, I don't like breaking the rules. She's perfect. She's great. And so we walked upstairs. And when we got up the stairs, we got to the bar. Her friend had encouraged one of the other guys to make out with her. Some guy she didn't even know, never met, hardly talked to, if at all. I don't even know if she talked to her at all. Talked to him, they talked at all. And her friend just brought a guy over, and they were just making out right in front of me. And after they make out, as she's wiping her lips, she looks right at me and she's guilty. She did not want to do that in front of me. She definitely wanted to do it. And her friend knows just how to get her to do it. And even if we're together, engaged, married, these girls don't care. It's just some stranger so I can blow off steam on them and just keep my secrets, and we're friends or whatever. And she was nobody, nothing, it's just some girl I met at a bar. I wanted to be that guy. And I was just... She leads into the need in the bottom bitch. This girl could just as easy come in and say, you're not stalker. And now we're gonna wrestle with Voldemort. Last Horcrux. I love this. I might be able to find the video. I pick on Will, and because Will's just made me feel so much over the years. It's a video of him with him and his woman and the snake. And he looked and they asked why he doesn't just give up on her. And he said, I don't want to misquote him because it was great. He said if he lets her go, that he'll be searching the world trying to find her. And that hit. That hit. And she looks at the snake and she says, see? He does say the right things. The problem is that's her friend, and the snake doesn't care. Does not care. She likes the feeling of taking down a king. She gets off on it, and she doesn't want her friend to be Eve. She wants her to be Lilith, and she wants to go have fun, use her. So no, she doesn't care that he says the right thing. She's just gonna focus on all the bad things. Everything she can provoke the negative emotion. So instead of this girl reading any of the other things that I wrote, making me anything else, she goes with stalker. So these snakes out here, their game is to belittle the relationship you have with your man, and act like it's empowering women to destroy the relationship, because they do feel powerful. It's just getting hit on and told you're sexual. Other feelings. These girls gas each other up, and guys gas girls up. Everyone's gassing each other up, so and if you just were to treat everyone like they're gods, you wouldn't call on the wrath of God by doing that, and you wouldn't provoke another god like that. So they do it all in secrecy. And it's a game. It's a game to these girls. They just like being able to, guys, they like being able to control other people's emotions and actions by just there's no way to win because it's her friend, so she's just another stupid fucking idea. It's just girl cult. It's girls sticking together, and then you just see videos of girl going into a bathroom and being like, should I call him? And then all the girls and screaming in the bathroom yell no, and they all just discourage it all and destroy love. And it's because there's just so many predators out there that are just trying to fake it, and ignorant ones. It's just mostly ignorant. That's how it starts out, at least. Then they become conscious of it. And that's when it becomes evil. And they keep repeating it. Andy Taint's got a podcast with fucking is it Ethan Ross? Some guy. I don't know, these people pop up on my fucking feed sometimes. For some reason. I'm sure they're just paying to push out the thoughts that they want people to see. There's ways to get your videos pushed out there, so the ones you want people to see, you get pushed out there, and the ones that you don't want people to see, you can try to get it scrubbed and washed from Google, from the Google search engines, and pay them money, and then they'll make it go away. So it's just a game of pushing money around to give people to believe your make-believe game. But anyway, the real story about Andy Taint and the Taint brothers is they're just gigolos. So they made most of their money getting their assholes pounded and coaching girls to give them money to teach them how to be whores for them. And it's Aiden Ross, I think, video with that guy where he talks about him and his girlfriend breaking up. And Andy Taint was unapologetically just maniacally laughing at the idea of his friend's ex sitting with a guy just like Andy, laughing at the text messages that he knew the guy was bound to send when he missed her. Which he also knows that the girl sends back because she misses him too, but that's why Andy Taint makes sure he grabs the phone and laughs at the text messages to belittle the man she loves so that she forgets about it and lives in his world, because that's all he cares about. Having fun with the fucking skank. Laughing at the fucking man he's destroying to have his fun, because the zero-sum game. And these girls are just empowered women having fun. This is the polarity. I just touch on it a little bit. Polarity and how I understand it. It's like a magnet. When you put the negative to a positive, they snatch together. They snap together, but if you put the negative and negative together and the positive and positive together, they push away from each other. The way it works in people and mammals is not like that. It's positive and positive attract, and negative attract, and then positive and negative repel each other. And so every relationship's bad when turned sour when the girl decided to turn her energy negative. And it always happened when she was in the most stressful time of her life, and she just wanted to have friends and relax and let loose after hard days of working. And those people that you hang out with at the bar and that you call friends, just especially girls, they say it over and over again. They don't have friends. They just have people that are constantly talking at them, giving them ideas. So they don't. Anyway, there's no loyalty within the culture. They don't understand the concept, so it's all make believe. What do you think's gonna happen when you make friends with a feminist? They're gonna fucking share all of their man hate, and the girl's gonna always return from the friendship, from the conversation with the man hater, hating men because they injected the fucking hate out into the world, because that's all these fucking man hating women do. Man hating feminists, Hermione. That's what they are. Fix your fucking cult of fucking cunts. Majority of them, almost all of them. You won't find a fucking feminist that'll say, I want to empower women and make them stronger. No, they're all out there trying to destroy man. Find a reason why we destroy man so that we can inject women's ideas into the mix. Women empowerment. That's all it's about. Mansplaining. Don't tell me what the truth is. Don't teach me something I don't know. Let me believe my imagination, boy. Women empowerment. Let me believe this lie because the reality sucks. So I want to live in make-believe la-la land. Women empowerment. And all these feminists and these fuckboys playing make-believe just to get girls to feel what they want to feel. So then they'll respond accordingly with the action that they evoked from the feeling that they knew their game would create. Because they've done it over and over and over again to countless fucking people that they've destroyed. Countless girls' minds they've destroyed, and relationships they've destroyed, and lives they've destroyed, just to play their game. Because bad boys that destroy everyone's lives are fun. Because fucking around on your man is fun. Empowered women. Anyway, so back to the polarity. The positive. Once the girl, excuse me, once the girl has decided to change her loyalty from the relationship to, it's always a girl. It's always a girl that's gassing her up, and when the relationship is over is when she gives in to leaning into fantasies with other guys. And that's when she no longer belongs to the relationship. Now she's just another slut for the street, because that's just who she is. She's decided to be that skank that leans into every fantasy that any guy gives her. So she's taking her engagement ring off and her wedding ring off, just so that she doesn't detract any potential candidates to cheat on her husband in her head, in her relationship, in her mind. And the guys are doing it too. I'm not saying it's just the girls. It's just no one corrects girls, and girls just, it's almost all the girls. They're all just destroying their relationship. Just go get new cock, and they have to change. They change polarity to negative. So then within the relationship, it's always fighting and arguing now. When 6 years went by where there wasn't a single fucking argument, until feminist enters relationship again and encourage her girlfriends to cheat on their man because it's some guy's birthday and it's fun. That's what's fun. And me over here not doing that stuff is boring, and so therefore boyfriend's boring and feminist friend is fun, because feminist friend doesn't make her feel bad for destroying the relationship. She actually was proud and happy of herself. She seems to pretend in her delusional little world that she did a service to the world and to her friend, as she claims, because she doesn't can't live in a world where she's an evil fucking cunt. She has to try to live in this world of make believe she's a good person. So she gasses her up to think all the feelings that she wants her to think and feel, because she deems that's what, as a woman, she's decided what her friend should feel. Or this girl's mom, she was just as bad. These two, she just had such poisonous people around her. I couldn't believe how long she lasted. And it's relentless. It's we talk about the Will and Jada and the snake. It's Snake's goal is to turn the polarity from positive, loving, caring attraction to the man you love into a negative, fearful, cuck him, make you think he's not good enough for whatever reason. You can get into her head that the man she loves is not good enough or bad or whatever they can find. And then they lean into only the negative, and any of the positive you tell them. The last girl, she just flat out said they don't want to hear it. All they want to do is talk shit about you, and she just lets them, because girls, she's got no spine. Fucking blurry face girls, they're all fucking blurry face. And they all fucking let their cunt feminist friend rule their life, or their fucking overbearing mom, fucking helicopter fucking mom, who thinks she knows everything, and fucking these moms don't know fucking shit. Fucking that's why Andy Tain says it's so important to have a bottom bitch, because you gotta have that girl infiltrate, and then that girl's gotta be the type of girl that'll just seek out toxic information, even if it's not real. Just make the stuff up just to try to belittle the man, to try to get them to destroy the relationship in any way they can possibly do it, and then introduce them to Mr. Steroids, Andy Taint, and his fake ass body with his fake ass money. I call his money fake because it's not how he got his money. He got all his money by getting his asshole pounded. He's just a mandingo, a male gigolo, an escort. That's what those fucking boxers are. They're just mandingos. So not that all the mandingos are getting their assholes pounded, but no one's got the kind of money Andy Taint's got without getting their asshole pounded. They certainly didn't get it by ripping off girls month to month for showing their tits. That's not how it happened. He didn't get it from purses in his little frats underground boxing club that they call world championships. What is it? Kickboxing with your boy toys. You and your boyfriends get together and pretend you are important and special because you got a steroided out body. Once the girls have gone bad, they don't return. They don't return to being decent human beings because now they're empowered. So now they're going to be like the eat, pray, love bitch and be suicidal, just leaning into all your cardinal urges, being like Taylor Swift, loving the karmic retribution that comes back, and then doing the same cycle where you trauma bond, where you go to another depraved piece of trash that's just like you, and be like, hey, I have panic attacks and think about killing myself because I'm a terrible human being. Let's go have sex because we're both fucking terrible. We're friends now. You have panic attacks too?
Make a girl feel these thoughts and blah blah. It's just a fucking game. I'll talk through all the games at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'll unveil a playbook. I'll write up a whole fucking playbook like Barney fucking Stinson style. And that's how these fucking podcasters and Instagram fucking people are. They're all fucking fake. And I just want to point out, there's no real men out there. Very rare to find one. Fucking all these guys will fucking play their little game to get sexually charged so that they can have a real nice ejaculation and then run away in terror from the make-believe that they created with this girl. And these Instagram models, it all disappears once you fucking ejaculate. Once the guy fucking comes, he's gonna be gone. That's the game. So that's why it's safe to get some commitments in a community that protects that spiritual connection. Because once you destroy it, it's just like a purgatory of like pain inside. Fear and negative thoughts.
All these girls and guys, everyone out in here has their heart somehow belongs to one or multiple people, and their souls are just torn and ripped. And instead of trying to figure out how they tore it, so they stop destroying their soul in everyone that they touch, they tend to gravitate towards the people that will just make them feel good about all the, just do whatever they can to make them feel good so that they don't have to deal with their negative energy. That's really all it is. And then they can fuck and have a good time and not have to worry about shit. I'm holding out for a worthy girl that's gonna tell her friends. She's gonna be strong enough to stay loyal to me. In the world that we are creating together. And if anyone gives her ideas on to add or subtract from that world we're creating, she either rejects it or comes to me with it. And we don't add or subtract until we come to the conclusions together. Girl, I'd have to be ready for that, and I've never met one that is. They just want to fit in.
One of them I was hanging out with, I didn't know she was a stripper until after we'd been gone on a few dates. She was excellent. She was smart and scrappy. They fucking was just manipulating her and tormenting her mind with ideas, and that's part of the sex traffickers' games is use fear tactics, so try to get her afraid, and she knew better than that. And we don't necessarily need to go down the list of that, but when I start talking about manipulations, it's something that I am interested in dark psychology. Strippers are just the type of girls to chat with because their whole game is make-believe. They're fucking paid actors and have no respect for themselves, their body, no conviction to themselves, to their future. So they just literally play the game of make-believe over and over and over again. And a girl like her, they have to separate her from a guy like me with strategies like that because she can't perform make-believe she's in love with someone else and interested in someone else when she's with me. A girl, I wouldn't fucking allow it. Like, I would fucking cut that vein of money off, and she would no longer be able to rely on that source of income. And that's what they use to get her to go, because they have control over her money, and that's good money. And the really only reason I kept that girl around for as long as I did is she shared a poem, something she wrote. She claimed to write. And the skit started out where she said, I am Eve, a bunch of times. Maybe twice at the first time, and then peppered in a few times here and there. And it's hard to tell if she was reading from the sex trafficker's playbook or if she wrote it herself. And she claims to have wrote it herself, and that she no longer has that book. And I don't buy it. I think she has the fucking skit that she runs through and picks which ones, and has a team of sex traffickers and sex peddlers out of the strip club that read all of the man's text messages. The Tate brothers talk about it in some of their podcasts, how their job is just to jerk guys off mentally, essentially. They take the girl just dances around naked and pretends to be on the keyboard while they're trying to stimulate this guy's mind to ejaculation and get his money that way. And so she's got a lineup of different skits that she runs through different personality types. And I was just a mark, but I'm more than a mark. I'm Adam. No, I'm fucking Luke. I'm a fucking.
The testimony, I didn't want to be long. I needed to establish that there's no fucking real men out there that understand the psyche of a woman, that aren't using it to try to fucking destroy their mind to their base level urges, so that they destroy their life, so that they can have fun with them for a little while and pretend like they're going to give them a better life, and then discard them. Mike Posner calls himself the troubadour. And after he's done having his fun with her, he gives them back. He doesn't care. Don't worry. He'll give her back. The troubadour, Mikey P.
I go into it. I'll go into it more about the Bobby Rio is his name. He calls it the scrambler, and it's how do you. I haven't gotten through the whole thing, but essentially, it's how do you manipulate girls into wanting to have sex with him, even if they have a boyfriend. It doesn't matter. He'll find a way. He'll find a way to ruin it so that he can fuck them.
These fucking guys will tell you to treat these girls like they're ladies, even though they're not, and don't slut shame them. And then they'll go to the strip clubs and just gawk at some other man's girl naked because that's what they get off on. It's such a fucking beta. It's such a fucking beta life to live. Just bouncing around this to fuck one girl you don't like and another girl you don't like and gas her up to make her think that you like her, when you know both of you both know that you don't like her, because you guys don't even like yourselves, so why would you guys really like each other? You like the fake version that you guys create for other people to see, and then have your little fun, and then anytime you show anything real, going anyway. Play make believe, just so you can just keep the good vibe going.
And that's all that's left out here on the streets. It's just a bunch of fucking sluts out here looking for fucking attention, or just bimbos that just fall for the sex peddler games. That's all it is. It's fun to play make believe and gas girls up, and their man is boring because their man tries to stable her in reality on planet Earth, and she just wants to go be a character from a Disney movie, or she wants to pretend in her head that she's a character from a Disney movie while being a slut on the street, while everyone around her pretends like she's a princess. That's what she wants. I go into it, but it's girls growing up. They play dolls and make believe, and makeup is just another game of make believe. Make believe I'm pretty. Make you believe I'm prettier than I actually am, so that maybe someone will like me. It's such a fucking sad, pathetic life these girls live, and it's trained into them. It's trained to say, hey, no one's going to treat you like you're good enough, so don't treat yourself like you're good enough. And enjoy being fake as fuck. Side chicks, Instagram sluts.
I just hate doing this. I hate even talking about it. Just girls just share their body with everyone. And the only people they'll be around are the fucking teeny tiny little fucking betas, the fucking fake ass fucking frat boys. No real men are welcome. Hi, buddy. It's a dangerous spot to be, because that's a big ass rock.
No, dangerous. How many did you digging under that rock and moving it? No. Sorry, buddy, no. Ace, come here. I'm sorry, buddy. Come on. Alright, that's fine. You stay there. I love you, bud. Alright, anyway.
Instagram side chicks, I gotta go into it. Just showing your ass and your tits and getting that kind of attention. That's gonna ensure a life of being alone inside, and it's just miserable. It's because you're not alone externally. You're alone internally because you're playing make believe in all these other people's minds. Make believe I'm a princess while I show my ass and tits to everyone that comes and visits my social media profile. Like, that girl belongs to the fucking streets. And the streets are cold, the streets are harsh. No one gives a fuck about you on the streets. They'll all lure you in and pretend you care. They'll be your friend for a little while, and then they're gonna disappear.
Instagram is just. I decided I'm gonna testify to Instagram and all these side chicks out here that are acting like showing their ass and tits is how you get a good candidate for partner, and is wondering why all these guys are trash out here that they're attracting into their life. And we'll go down a little list that I got. It's no girl of mine is gonna be showing her ass and her tits to anyone. Just and no real man in their right mind would allow it. Like, they're not being true to themselves if they're allowing it to happen, or they literally do not care about this other entity. They just don't know how to, because society must have beaten their soul down into nothingness. And I can wake it up and charge people and remind them that it exists, but then they don't know what to do with it because there's no one to trust, because everyone that they hang around has turned it off, so they must turn it off too. Love. Anyway, so it's just hard to tell. These girls out here, they're just all fucking predators, just drawn in men with showing off their cleavage and their in shirts that you can see their nipples and their tits in, and showing their ass off, and they lure any red-blooded male, some of them more than others. And the fuckboys and the fucking skanks out there say it's about empowering women to let them feel lusted after is empowered. And that's great and all, but there's other ways to have power than to be a slut on the street for everybody to fucking gawk at. Like, that's weak power, and that disappears as soon as I ejaculate. So there's something that's gonna last is just has to have that element as well, doesn't it? Anyway, my buddy said these girls are just side chicks, because any guy that would share a girl would definitely have to just see her as a side chick. There are guys going just these yoga classes just to sexualize these girls. They wear these spandex, and it's all about body positivity, and all these girls are always talking about each other's sex parts, always talking about each other's ass and each other's tits. and just being comfortable being sexual predators. And girls get away with it, and gays get away with it, and the fuckboys do it in secret, and they get away with it as long as the girl likes it. And then they grab that reputation and they just become that guy. But anyway, we don't need to go down that path. We'll get back on the topic of the yogins people. It's being sexualized. It's a real thing. It's like, and then on top of it, with these Instagram models and these yogis out here, it's hard to tell which ones are actual whores that have pimps that are just showing their ass and their body in yoga positions just to get attention, so that they can draw more people to their strip clubs and their whore houses, their coke houses, and which ones are doing it just because they're girls that need attention and they just want to always just look at me, so they're just showing their ass and their tits on social media to get guys to drop in their DMs, or they're complaining about something to get guys to drop in their DMs so that they can get attention, cheat on their man and fuck around and get all that lustful cardinal urges out. And then these people are using it for actual bona fide businesses. Creating a brand. This girl's fucking creating a brand. That's why she had to drop me. One of the reasons. It's like these girls out here, if they wanted to stop being side chicks and stop being these Instagram models with these thirst traps showing their ass and their tits to guys just to get attention, so that they can feel good about themselves in their fucking delusional little minds. Feel good by being bad. It's not how it works. You just become more bad and more desensitized and cause more suffering internally for yourself and everyone around you, because then you're miserable and you create that aura of misery for your household.
And their feelings and their imaginations now are what supersede reality, and everything that was important to them is now no longer important for their feelings and their imagination. That now is the only thing that matters. And
no real man would put up with that. And the betas, the ones that are the guys that are fucking having sex with girls out here, they're all fake as fuck. And all these girls are just love playing, like I said, love playing make believe. It's their favorite fucking game. So just
and it's all in order to be in that sexual energy, it's negative energy. So when you live in that negative energy and you become that fuck doll, you're constantly in a negative, hate-filled, suicidal, fearful. It's all of the negative emotions, and you keep spiraling through negative emotions, and it's really hard to achieve a neutral or a peaceful, loving, inspired life and energy when you're living in that vibration, that lower vibration.
And then blame everyone else around you because your girlfriends gas you up into thinking that you're the good one and that you're doing all the good things. And you're not, because you know your insides are all negative and it's not the external world. And lean into those lustful urges, they only create more of that negative energy inside. Lust is a negative energy in itself, and it doesn't create more positive energy. It just, once that negative energy is satisfied, it typically then just transitions over to a different negative thought. Whatever thought you have is going to be associated negatively, typically. So keeping your spirit clean and healthy is a way to not dip into those depressions. That eat, pray, love bitch. This fucking... That girl's lunatic. Out of her mind, just writing a book to make money. There's nothing real about what she wrote. And I just feel so bad for her. She had a plan for her life, and then she let other people coach her out of it. And then the guy she hooked up with immediately after is now someone she's madly in love with, and this guy's got lots of girls like her that they've coached to think. Anyway, he's got lots of girls like her. The will they won't lay, but they've experienced each other and they feel together and blah blah blah. And after she leaves her relationship, she's just depraved, so she'll lean into all the depraved ideas if it's a guy that she likes. And they give her drugs, and the alcohol, it makes her not think or care anymore. The Molly makes her feel happy and good and horny. And the Coke makes her feel happy and good and will let you just implant ideas. People that they're trying to fit in with these drugs, sex traffickers, they're one and the same. Sororities and fraternities and the secret societies. Just little games. And they talk about these girls, they call them fuck dolls, and never to their face. It's always the good stories to their face. And they're always really nice and polite and say the right things. And then he hangs up the phone and he's like, God, she's so fucking annoying. And just talks about how much he hates her. And how she's got problems and he just doesn't want to fucking deal with it. And he's just got lots of girls like that. One after another after another. And she talks about how she just thinks about killing herself and how miserable she is. And then just keeps living that same life though. And goes out and thinks that she's some sort of yogi, and then just act like she's doing good in this world by sharing her story. And pretending she did good because she got some old guy's tattered papers and paper copied them for herself and gave him a copy too. And she's some good lady. And then fundraise for some bimbo that's saying her sob stories. Oh, woe is me, I'm a single mom with no home, find me money. And she goes and tells this some story to all of her friends about how she's saving somebody, and that girl is single because she's a slut. She says it in her book. She says she lusts after all these guys, and that's why the relationship got destroyed, and she blames it on the man, and it's all the man's fault. It's not her fault for lusting after other guys. Instead of just lusting after a man and giving all that energy to one guy, she gives it to any guy that she sees or feels a vibe with. She just goes and vibes on him. So that's why she causes all the negativity in her life, and this girl is just like, no, she's protecting her. And just these girls gassing each other up and all trying to pretend like they're doing good things, and then she's just guy she ends up being with at the end. And it's just the saddest thing, because his game is to pretend that all of her stinkiness and all of her shittiness is just nothing, and that he doesn't even see it or smell it. The example is his sniffing her armpit, and she's probably disgusting smelling, and he acts like it's a fragrance, and whether it is a fragrance to him or not, he just makes her believe it so that she gets to live in that fairy tale, and she loves it. She even says it in her book. She says he calls every girl darling, but she likes being called darling too, so she lets him do it, and she thinks she's special, and she pretends like the other girls don't exist. And all these girls are just going and hanging out with this guy because he calls him darling and plays this little game. And she just likes being the little toy. And it's just this sad love. All these people are just... It's just every girl that tries to hit on me, they always are just complaining about their ex, like... Fuckboys out here are like, that's your chance to get her! And I'm just like, she's just gonna complain about me too. I want a girl that's not gonna complain about me to anyone but me. And she'll tell me everything I need to know. She'll just let me have it. And she'll never leave, even though she sees all of my flaws. And anyone else that sees a flaw, that tries to make her not like me, she'll still like me. Sometimes someone tries to pull her away from me, she'll say no. I'm connected to this one. I don't want this connection to break. So I'm not going to make a decision that'll break this connection.
Just ready for her to be mine. It's like if this girl didn't want to be a side chick and she wanted to be a main chick, then she'd be the best main chick in the whole world. She'd be the best one. You would never, I couldn't even fathom possibly just, I can't even, and I'm fucking holding out for a good one, I'm telling you. Yeah, we'll get into these girls and how their feelings change. Just one of the girls from the mental institution that I still like to talk to because she's super smart and if she get her emotions under control, she'd be the adversary to reckon with. But right now, she's easy to just turn her emotional and then she just runs away. She doesn't just run away, she throws a temper tantrum and then runs away. And is verbally rude and ignorant. Because when girls are angry, they just spew out shit they vent, they call it. And they just spew out words that don't make any sense. They call it a manic state, but I call it just lack of self-control state, where I'm in a temper tantrum, and I'm going to say and do whatever I feel like while I'm mad. And then she'll go and leave and come back 5 minutes, an hour. I still hang out with her, so shit, I just got a text from her last night saying she's sorry and she's trying to improve herself. And the problem with with people like that is they can get on the psychiatric drugs and numb the energy so then they don't have those fits of temper tantrums anymore. And then when they're not on the drugs, they go back to having those fits of temper tantrum. And no one's giving them a safe space to challenge themselves and hold them accountable to a set of rules and goals they've aligned for themselves. They just going through life whimsically, just destroying everything they create to have to restart over and restart over and restart over. And I want groups of girls like her because she's passionate and she's smart and capable, and she's numbed. She's barely fucking useless. But if she knew how to handle her energy without being an angry, rageful fucking bitch, she'd be an excellent fucking person. And just a savage warrior for righteousness, which is what she wants to be. A hero and protector of all these girls out here. And you can't do it while you're selling your fucking pussy and showing your ass and your tits on fucking social media and doing all this other fucking garbled shit that drags you down to the fucking root, to your base, and destroys and crumbles everything that you're building, everything that you could possibly be proud of and have a spiritual proud of yourself for, is boiled down to your base level urges, because that's who you are. It turns into your fits of rage and your lustful urges. It's why they call these girls side chicks. My buddy said, "Why are you getting emotional about a side chick?" Like, you should. It's the concept is you should just know better than to expect anything more than from a girl that'll share herself like that with somebody else. She belongs to no man, and any guy that's with her is not her man, as far as she's not their property. She doesn't belong to them. She's just somebody they're hanging out with temporarily. And even a guy that would get her to straighten out, not just for his energy and to give all of those things to her, but to protect her own energy too, because it's hard to explain how it works, but the karmic downfall, if you will, but the house of cards is fragile and can be blown down real easily. And so she can be fixed and live in that blissful, peaceful, happy, joyous life. And they can live a life of showing fake laughter at moments you know you're supposed to be laughing, and kind of feel something a little bit, but mostly only feel when you're getting gassed up doing bad stuff. Then you've destroyed connection with spirit, and you no longer have it, and you can't understand what it's like to have it anymore. And so now all you are is living in like a purgatory of only feeling in moments of the giving, receiving, or destroying of the love languages, and calling that friendship, which isn't friendship. It's just mostly a group of self-loathing people that get together to share their self-loathing and how they can identify things to loathe in other people, and they call that fun and friendship.
Love languages aren't real love. They're just ways to make people feel. You feel like you care. Do any of those things and you'll make somebody think that they care about you. That's not real love. Real love is actually taking the person into your own heart and not doing anything to them or letting anything happen to them that would hurt your heart. Girls don't get it. They just get this fake fucking game to them. I fucking hang out with these fucking people. It's fucking annoying. They fucking get off the phone with some girl after fucking and they're just fucking angry and they just fucking don't want to talk to her anymore. She's got problems and I don't want to deal with them. And I don't want to hear her complain. So all these girls just get gassed up and placated by these guys and they turn on their fucking charm. They're completely different people. Their whole tone changes. Their voice changes into a different fucking person. And the next girl is gonna understand that that's happening and she's not gonna fucking play their fucking games anymore. She's gonna be mine. Mind, body, and spirit. Completely. And she's gotta understand what that means. And be somebody that I can actually talk to about it and write it down so that I can share it with more people. And it needs to be somebody like Cock. Like the Cock.
Not easy to find when all these girls are just like the Eat, Pray, Love girl out here, where they're just wandering around aimlessly, acting like their story is worth sharing for some reason. And other girls gassing her up enough to say she's their hero. And the real way to heal people is not always to find the good feels. Just to live in the bad feels long enough to figure out how to make them never happen again. And then once you get out of the bad feels, stop doing the things that cause the bad feels again. So I'm not losing her again. Like I said, after we reigned for 200-300 years, over the greatest time of human history, and send into heaven. Till then, I have to be here on Earth, in this body, and I want to feel.
So why do I have to be king? Why me? Because no one else cares. No one else cares the right way. They care because they have feelings that they call care. They think they care, and care is an act of nurturing. It's a nurturing act, and all these people's care is inside their own head and inside their own body, and they put it out into the world in the ways they deem are whatever they feel like it is, because it's all make believe for them. And they'll just want to live in their little bubble of make believe. So, me as a white man, I have to just live in the real world. I don't get to play make believe. What you see here is the fullest extent of make believe I get to do. I get to say I had these thoughts, and I don't know what to do with them, other than just hold on to them, because I'm not supposed to let them go. I was in the mental institution, and one of these sex peddlers that was put in front of me, sex and drug peddlers that was put in front of me, he's showed up and he the first thing he did was went to the girl, went to the group of girls and jumped in, started coloring books and doing what they were doing just to blend in. And that's what these sex traffickers do. They just go and blend in long enough until you can make them think that you're a good. Well, anyway, don't need to really dive into that. The whole purpose of the story is one of the other guys that was more respectful, and anyway, one of the other guys came up to me and asked me why that guy is hanging out with all the girls when a bunch of them already have boyfriends. It's just a great question, and the answer to that question is, one, that guy does not care. These girls go hang out with anybody, and these girls are all trapped in here too. And two, it's girls have no respect for any man, and it's just part of their culture, and a lot to do with their not having any male role models worth showing any admiration to. And then when you do have admiration from a man to a woman, it's very difficult to separate the sexual nature from that connection. And for weak people, at least. For me, it is not. People wonder about me all the time. It's so fucking funny because girls run their fucking games on me, and people watch girls run their game on me, and it has no fucking effect. Even this poor girl, even the fucking cock, she fucking tried her magic, and I broke her spell. I don't know, it disappeared. I don't know how. No more stalker charges, so I won! Yay for me. Won something. My prize is Ace is my prize every day. One of the girls has one of those names that start with end with an A. And I texted her one of the first text messages, and spelled her name wrong, and she got mad and texted back because she does not like that, because she has one of these names that are spelled with a different letter than the other girls, and I spelled it I swear I spelled it the right way, but it auto-corrected the wrong way. That I feel it corrected the wrong way. But anyway, it's irrelevant because I sent the text without proofreading it, so it happened. And she said she does not like it when people spell her name wrong like that. And so when I responded saying that I won't let it happen again, I just took the A off of her name, so then it made her name a man's name. So instead of apologizing, I just fucking spelled her name wrong again on fucking purpose. And the fucking therapist the system forced me to go see said girls don't like to be tormented, and I beg to differ. I think she fucking loved it, because it's like one of those things where it's when you can get someone's energy up, even if it's a negative energy, she's now more of an emotionally charged state, but it's such of an inconsequential thing that if she actually lets that negative energy go, and she gets more mad about something so stupid, then she's now just a fool. And so she can't do that, but now she has all this pent up energy that I can work with. And that's how one of the games work of of harassing a girl. So it's like when they say a guy picks on a girl because he likes her, that's not 100% exactly what it is. It's guys only know how to give attention, and the little boys only know how to give attention in the way that they're getting attention. So if they're getting harassed by their parents, and they're going to harass anyone that they like. And I've refined my harassing into just the sweetness that is just, I want everyone to understand it. I don't want to keep, like, because the games, it's not, it's the games that they teach you in the secret societies and the fraternities. The mothers and the people that come rolling in, these are fucking mostly toxic fucking people that perpetuate the system. And they don't teach shit about these emotions because they want to be the only ones that know how to play with people's emotions. They don't want me teaching you guys. They don't want anyone knowing these games exist. Because the problem with what happens is the way they use it is, so I poke fun at this girl and have to, and I summon the negative vibration, the negative emotion into her, and then I can transition it into whatever I want after, because it's now just a energy that has nowhere to go, that needs to be diffused, and I want her to diffuse it on me in a way that I want. And they use this to destroy relationships. So they create the negative emotion in the girl in the games, the ways they know how to play the games, that create a negative emotion that she now has to hold inside and contain, because she'll be a bitch if she doesn't. Now he gets to use that, or the sorority skank at the bar, then she gets to now use that energy, and now she's going to now say that negative energy wasn't because of what we just did, it was because something that your man did. And now, remember when you told us that story, now you're mad at him. Now you're angry at that guy, so now when you go home, you're just going to start an argument in your relationship because they fucking played their games on you. And when I explain it, how it actually works, then I have to fucking deal with the fucking consequences that come. So you people better be fucking grateful, fucking assholes. So that's what he said. So he said when I got set free from the mental institution, he said, I earned everything I got coming to me, and I keep earning more, so bring it. I'll earn more and more and more. This girl, she's this one that I tell you about right now, she said that in her experience, that the vibe, it fades after time. And it does fade after time, but that's how you can get the emotionally charged and have fun within the confines of safety too. And knowing that that we're just human beings that like each other and care about each other, so there's no danger or any harm. It's just people saying stupid stuff, and if I say any more stupid things, she might just get rid of me. But if I say it just right, she'll keep me around just because it's fun. And I fucked that one up. she's just the right amount of mean right back to me, just enough to make me want to just make her not be mean to me no more. What do I gotta do to make you happy, woman?
Yeah, the connection. And she was a doctor, a heart doctor. And I told her she could have, I said she could have my heart. She would have been a good one to have, to take it. And she said she didn't want it. She just wanted my body. And then she got to experience my mind too, and then she's like, wait, I want you to hang out around more, so she didn't let me have her body, and that's how it works with guys like me. It's like, oh, I thought you were just some bozo that we were just gonna... And then they're like, wait a second. You stimulate me more than these other guys do. So... she let me hang out with her longer. She started taking the intimacy stuff away and putting me in the friend zone. And kept telling me that that's where I belonged, and I was never... And then another girl entered my existence. They just forced their way in and just... didn't force their way in, they just jump in and just say, here I am, take me. And I had no reason not to, and I didn't tell her, she just knew. And after, she just said it's over. She said she wasn't mad at me and I didn't do anything wrong because we weren't together. And that we're not friends. And that she just doesn't feel anything for me anymore. And so I just realized that if I just would have never been disloyal to her, even though she was just pushing me away and pushing me away. She just always pushed me away, and she just always let me still be around, and she's so smart. Meet these amazing girls, and they all say it has to be all or nothing. And then she puts me into the friend zone, so I might be able to be friends with one of them. And then I hang out with another girl, and she's gone too. So I wasn't in the friend zone. She hadn't figured out what to do with me yet. And so with the Queen of Queens, a year later, I texted her, a year after she ghosted me, and I haven't heard from her ever. I texted her and I said, whenever I think about doing something that would make or not want to be my friend. So if the answer is maybe, it's just that I don't do it.
After she ghosted me, and I didn't give up because I'm telling you, it's just a rare type of girl. You find these unicorns, you just can't give up on them until they just disappear. And then when they disappear, you just run around in the forest yelling and screaming, "Where'd you go?" Just like a fucking lunatic. And God damn it. No! God damn it. And these were just girls that I hardly knew. Oh, buddy, I'll play with you in a bit.
The other girl said we'd be friends. We agreed that we'd be friends. Some capacity. She has to I lost my best friend. And a lot of friends. And we're all just sick of it. And everyone's just sick of hearing it. And if she was the Queen of Queens, I could tell her what happened. And then she could go to the other queens. And she could go. Pull me right out of purgatory. With one breath, she could just blow a star cloud away. Make the sun come out again. Might take more than one breath.
It's just not allowed to fucking do it. She's not allowed to fucking get away with it. Like, and the problem that arises is that me standing up for myself highlights that she did awful things, and now she's decided that me talking about the terrible things she did to me is me trying to turn her friends against her. Anybody trying to get her to do the right thing is now me being the bad guy, trying to manipulate them to turn them against her to get her friends to not like her the way she did to me. And now, so she lives in this constant state of fear that that's what my intentions are, which never have been. Although that's because that's how she behaves, that's how she thinks people behave. And I don't. I just want my friends back. She's not allowed to fucking do it. And it's this game these girls play of pretending like they're afraid. And it's not, but they just get to do it just long enough to get what they fucking want. And destroy some fucking innocent fucking person. Guy or girl. They do it to fucking everyone. It's just a fucking game they fucking play. These girls are fucking awful fucking people. And the fucking cock, like... she's acting like she's fucking scared too, because it's like we'll go back to the point. I want to narrow it down to the point of it's fucking the only way they know how to get it's the only way they know how to get what they want. So she said it in her fucking post. She's tried everything. She's tried everything she could think of, and these are her moves. And I'm just saying, they're just soft ass fucking moves. She needs better moves. She needs a stronger golem. And I'm just saying, like, it's just there's nobody out there that's willing to stand up to a girl's feelings these days. If a fucking girl has a fucking feeling, you better fucking watch out, because the world's gonna fucking do what they fucking can to fucking please the queen. And I knew the Queen of Hearts was gonna bite me in the fucking ass. I'll put my skit to it. The Queen of Hearts syndrome, or paranoid delusional authority. A fearful, weak person that has to use their authority rather than logic, or the Queen of Hearts scenario is uses other people, and if they don't comply or please to satisfy the queen, then off with your head. It's not like you did something that displeased me, and we're going to talk about it so that you don't do that thing anymore, because I want everyone around me to be better people. It's off with your fucking head. I hate that thing that you did, therefore you are that thing, and that thing has to be gone from my life forever. And that's the Queen of Hearts syndrome. The Queen of Hearts has an interest in just destroying that which she detests, or doesn't give her the happy feeling she wants. She must destroy it, and it's such a toxic fucking mindset. So these women have no intention in making the world a better place. They just have an interest in destruction. And so I like the Queen of Hearts syndrome, because if you watch the cartoon version, the old one, King of Hearts is always like a tiny fucking man, which is fucking great, because these fucking men these women have are all limp dick fucking cowards that let their women be fucking cunts, and they don't do anything to fucking stop them, because they have no fucking power over their women, because these women are fucking the queen. They just love the fucking gossip and be fucking shitty. So I'm just gonna keep talking shit about them until they stop doing it, and I'm not welcome around because of it. But it's like the Queen of Hearts syndrome is just the mean girl that got a college degree and grew up to be a shrew, has a fucking everything she wants because she forces everyone to comply with all of her feelings and all of her ideas, so she gets everything she wants, or else. Fucking feminism, women empowering women. Destroy your relationship, destroy what makes you happy. Do whatever you feel like in the moment. Women. But I call it a fucking syndrome, and this girl had one of her posts where she was talking about how she sees how much power the queen has, and she admires that. She admires the Queen of Hearts, and the Queen of Hearts is, I wouldn't necessarily call her my nemesis, but she fucking hates me. And she just makes it her mission to fucking destroy everything that makes me happy in this world. Just because whatever thought she's come up with, whatever reason, and it's mostly just out of pleasure and leaning into her lust and her wrath and all of her sinful nature. And she can't be the bad guy, so now she's got to go make everyone live in a false reality where the guy she destroyed is now the bad guy. Now she's living in a state of fear of the bad guy retaliating against her, heroically saving some innocent girl from a just 5-year, 6-year, 20-year relationships. It's just a friendship of 20 years just thrown in the trash just to satisfy the Queen of Hearts. And the girl that should be the queen, she has to play along. Because she doesn't have any conviction to herself. Because she knows the consequences that'll come if she does. When you stick out, they treat you like a pimple and you need to be popped. So that you get eliminated and you blend back in. She sees the queen's power and just doesn't see how careless the queen is. Alice just admires her for all of the things that she has and all of the power she has. And either hasn't seen the destruction yet and all the pain, or pretends it doesn't exist, or gets off on it. And I would never put cock into a category. She's probably fucking all of them. Ugh, fucking. And so the Queen of Hearts, it just sucks because, man, the fucking everyone around her has to suffer. And they don't even necessarily know they're suffering. They're just existing in her world, doing what it takes to please her. And she's nice enough and has all these things, and she's happy to share and give gifts and make everyone happy with things she's got, so long as they're pleasing her and satisfying her greatness, and all of that is her, and doing everything to make sure she feels the good vibe and don't do anything fucking wrong. All right, gone. The moment she has a feeling she doesn't like, that's the feeling she's going to keep going on with and figure out every reason to justify that feeling until she eliminates that which she doesn't want around no more. And you can see all of that power that she has, and you also don't get to necessarily see all of the negative side of that, because now she's got all that negativity is inside of her. It's like, and she's just projecting it out into the world to destroy something and someone. And she doesn't feel better after she does it. She's haunted by it now with fearful ideas and terror and panic attacks and suicidal ideations and whatever other karmic retribution comes to the queen. And my sister, my dad, my best friend's wife, they all pretend that they're afraid of me. And even this girl, she claims fear of me is why she's pushing so hard. And in a whole social media post calling me a stalker and then saying I'm harassing her was not like my sister, my dad, and my best friend's wife. It's to get rid of me, like their goal is to get rid of me as well. But their goal is literally to hurt me, and her goal is not to. She doesn't want to. She just wants it. She wants. She. She
I don't presume to know what she wants. Let's put it that way. I am certain she doesn't fucking know either. So she just wanted the lost little puppy to go away. That's all she wanted. She didn't want to cause any more drama in my life. It's in my notes. I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget. Her goal wasn't to hurt me and make everyone around necessarily believe that I'm someone to be feared. My best friend's wife didn't want me around anymore, and she wants to live in the world where she's afraid, so that she doesn't have to come clean. Same with my sister and my dad. It's just a game of control me by manipulating other people into believing their lies and manipulating them to not having other people want to be around me. And when I think that's, I don't know when, but at some point she made the accusations go away. I don't know, I noticed like a week ago that sometime after I posted his evidence, I noticed her Instagram the post about her being afraid of her stalker disappeared, and my sister and my dad and my best friend's wife won't do that for me, and the cop did, because she's, like I said, she's just better than all these other girls. She's the fucking, but her acts of whatever they were are forgiven, not necessarily forgotten, because I have to go through this testimony. I have to outline the things I want to share, and I wanted her to listen and give me ideas. But one day I'm gonna find a girl like her that will, and I just have it outlined so that I can go move on with my life and have it on the back burner, so it'll disappear soon enough. But I have to get through it. But moral of the story, as I told you, she's just awesome. She made the bad thing go away for me. I didn't do anything to deserve it. It's just out of the kindness of her own heart. And that's why one of the reasons I need the cop in my life. She could fix it. I don't necessarily know how, but I know she can. She's great. This is something. I have to do this testimony because I want to create a safe place for people to do energy work, to challenge themselves emotionally. Not a fucking system. I got a psychology degree. It's fucking trash. It's a fucking drug cartel system. They're fucking advertising their drugs for you guys. You guys are saying I have problems and taking their drugs instead of solving your fucking problems. And I want to hang out with people that want to solve their problems, like this high school girl that she would want to learn how to control herself. So instead of saying I can't control my emotions, say I can. And I know other people that would be down for it. I just finding funding to stabilize myself and other people while I have a job while I do it is just impossible. So I I have to tout my knowledge and put it out there in a way that's reasonable and can help expand other people's minds. And then essentially make people realize that I'm the real deal and I'm not just fucking around. That this life is real for me. It's not a game of make-believe. Although I do enjoy playing games a lot. but every game you play is real too. It's still fucking real.
Sincerely yours, so pray to your Lord, cause this is a war, ain't talking about bullets and swords. UFOs don't make any noise when they're traveling hyperspeed, so welcome aboard. Whenever I wake up, I get this feeling that I can't wait up, cause time is ticking, bombs away, bombs away.
As the mask of deception falls off the face of humanity, unveiling the grim reality of duality in which everyone is a casualty. No one will be exempt. Truth has many shades. It's not a matter of black and white, but gray. Although many, we are one. So in the final analysis, could it be we're fighting a war that can't be won?
Now suck my cock.
We're dicks! Pussies don't like dicks. Because pussies get fucked by dicks. But dicks also fuck assholes. Assholes who just want to shit on everything. Pussies may think they can deal with assholes their way. But the only thing that can fuck an asshole is a dick. With some balls. The problem with dicks is that sometimes they fuck too much, or fuck when it isn't appropriate.
Yes, Gary. Yes.
And it takes a pussy to show them that. But sometimes pussies get so full of shit that they become assholes themselves. Because pussies are only 1.5 inches away from assholes. I don't know much in this crazy world. But I do know that if you don't let us fuck this asshole, we are gonna have our dicks and our pussies all covered in shit.
Can I do my video now? Is it okay? Thank you. Bye.